So now, senior running back Adam Randall, you'll fire away with questions whenever you're ready.
Spoke to Wade earlier. You mentioned that with your pass blocking, you're not able to get tossed around because of your height, your size. I guess. Do you finally think how do you think you'll perform when it's game time when it comes to pass blocking?
I think I do well. Just throughout this week, just making sure that we know what's coming. Identifying the person is really the biggest thing, and just having my eyes in the right place is what we've been trying to get down. And we do a really good job. We got great scouts and great video, and Coach Luke and Coach Spiller have just been getting me ready. And I've been spending extra time in the film room just watching their linebackers and front seven, what they want to bring. And they bring a lot of different stuff, especially on third down, so just being prepared for that.
Is identifying Harold Perkins, number 7, kind of a point of emphasis?
It's a big point of emphasis. Obviously, he's one of their key players. He's a great player. I had a chance to play with him at the Under Armour All-American Games, see him up close in person. So I know he's a skillful player. Just making sure we know where he's at all times on the field, and identifying him and getting him covered up so that Cade can have a chance to get the ball down the field.
So you're on the same team with him or the other team?
I think we were on the same team. I can't really remember. It was so long ago. But I just remember him announcing his commitment there and me not really knowing who he was. But then, kind of getting acquainted with him while we were there that week.
Is it, kind of set in with you yet that, you're going to get the start Saturday night, but it's going to be in the backfield and not out wide? Is that a little weird to you, or has it really set in yet?
Yeah, it kind of set in, at the beginning of camp, just going out there daily and, being a running back, not having to run as far when you break the huddle and, just staying back there in the backfield. But, it's just something. I've been playing football for so long now. It's like, I'm just, whatever they call me to do, I'm going to go do it. If it's back there at kick return or, punt return, blocking for Antonio, whatever they ask me to do, just going out there on the field and just getting my job of 1 of 11 done while I'm out there at all times is my biggest goal.
Coach Ron was saying yesterday that he feels a little more confident going into a game like this because he has a veteran quarterback like Cade. Like, how much does it help you just having him there to kind of lead the offense now? So
yeah, him being in the offense for 3 years now, it definitely gives us all a sense of poise, and he has a great sense of poise when he's back there. And we've played in big games now. ACC Championship, played in the playoffs last year. So, just having an opportunity to do it at home now, I think it's just going to be a really fun experience, especially for some of the younger guys. And just making sure, I think he's definitely our leader. He just keeps us poised when we're out there, and, seeing him back there be calm, cool, and collective, gives us a sense of ease, especially on the outside and in the backfield and up front. So I think he does a good job of that, and, he's an incredible leader, and, just thankful to have him back there slinging the ball around.
How has your mindset changed going into this year, being a senior at a new position at running back versus last year going in as a wide receiver?
My mentality hasn't really changed. Just being the best that I can be at each day. It definitely different things that I have to learn. Being more cohesive with the offensive line and stuff. I would say receivers are more of a one-on-one battle and more finding zones and matchups within the open space. Now it's more a smaller space and making sure that you give your offensive lineman the best chance to help protect you and help protect yourself. So it's definitely a little. I would say mental change, but like mentality-wise, it's been no difference. It's been be the best person that you can be every single day. But I just wanted to learn a new position and learn all the nuances is what I've been, kind of embracing myself in for the last 6 months now, or however long we are in a year.
Coach, you kind of mentioned how some of the lack of details kind of doomed the team last year, week 1 against Georgia. How much of an emphasis have you guys working on make sure your alignment's right, or making sure things like that has been just emphasis heading into this season?
Yeah, I was the brunt of that situation a lot last year, but just myself, making sure that I go through all my calls and making sure that I'm well aware of all the details that go within that call, and just now this year it's a little bit making sure that we have a lot of the details down, because I mean it's not really going to be the big things that beat us. I mean we have two great teams. I mean it's going to come down to who can do the small things, who's going to have good ball exchanges, who's going to run their route at 12 yards instead of 10, who's going to win the one-on-one matchups at the end of the day. And I think that's what it's really going to come down to. And I think that if we're really detailed oriented and really focused and precise in our execution, I think that we're gonna have a really good chance to succeed on Saturday.
How difficult is it, I guess, to not get flustered in those moments, like last year was in Atlanta, Mercedes-Benz Stadium, and maybe get lost? How do you kind of stay present-minded in those situations when you're in the game?
All I would say is, got to play the next play. I mean, that's really been my mindset. Even when I make a mistake in practice or, in games last year after that first game, it's really just move on, play the next play. You really can't do anything about the mistake that you just had, but you can only just make a change on the next play that you have the opportunity to play.
What's been your favorite part about the transition to running back?
My favorite part probably has been, being in a different room with new guys. I mean, I have an opportunity to lead different people now, and, I have an opportunity to lead, an entire offense now. I would say, a lot of guys know me because I was in the receiver room last year, so I'm basically well aware with all the skill guys and, just learning all the new OL. And, I know all the older guys, but, it's just different when you got newer guys coming in. So, just being in a different room and, being with Coach Spiller and Keith, Gideon and Jay and Strecko and Max, just being with all those guys every single day, it's been, a joy. It's different because, I mean, sometimes when you get into the routine, mundane things, you just kind of get lost in yourself. But then when you get shifted into another atmosphere, another environment, it kind of brings you back to reality that, like, hey, like, yeah, you're playing college football. Hey, you get to be a guy that runs out there at whatever point in time, and you at that point, you just want to make the most of all your opportunities. So yeah, it's really just been fun to be in a different room and with different guys.
We kind of compared David to Marshawn Lynch. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I mean, I would say David might be a little bit taller, but yeah, he definitely runs with the same violence, same physicality. I mean, David wants to get downhill and wants to make his presence known early. So I really have enjoyed to see his growth throughout the year and throughout seeing him come in as a freshman. Just him understanding football a lot more has definitely helped him earn himself more opportunities. So I do think that him being compared to Marshawn Lynch is a good comparison. He definitely runs with that violence and physicality like Marshawn.
What he was even saying, like hear him like grunting the entire time while he's running.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's this. I mean, he's definitely an animal out there. Yeah, I think that he takes it so seriously, and he wants to be such a key contributor to this team that, I mean, he's willing to give and sacrifice everything that he has, to put the team first.
Talk about leading, and I think Coach Sweeney said on his radio show that let their rear lights be or your headlights, I guess, in terms of following you. Like what gave you that kind of idea that you could lead going into a new position?
I just would say, like, me probably going in there, I mean, ever since Ship and Moffitt left, there's not really guys that have played a lot of snaps. I mean, I probably have played the most snaps within that room since I've been here for 3 years. So I knew I kind of had to take it by the helm and, show the young guys how to work, and then they showed me how to be a running back. So, I mean, it's a push and pull thing. So I think that, just setting a standard of what it should look like, and then sometimes I go in there and I'm out there looking like a receiver sometimes in the backfield, and they'll let me know that too. So I think that to be a leader you have to be able to listen first. So I think listening to them is really kind of put me in a position to help lead them, because they understand that I want the best for the team and I want the best for them individually as well.
Guess what? Say you're like looking like a running back or looking like a receiver at times, like what's happening when
yeah, that was more like mainly in the spring, like first couple of days, just kind of I think I've said it a couple of times, just moving a little bit too quick in the backfield, speeding my process up. It's definitely a little bit slower in the backfield, I would say. Slower maybe slower in my mind, maybe not as you see it, but slower in my mind. And as receiver, as soon as the ball snap, you're off the ball and going. At running back, it's not like that. Like I said, you gotta make sure those big guys up front are in the best positions to help protect you and get you out of the gate as fast as fast and as soon as possible.
With being the leader in the running back room, but being new and the other players have been a running back, what specific things have they taught you or helped you with?
So I was telling somebody the other day this, so being that receiver, you're so fast, like you're so fast, you want to be so fast, you want to be fastest guy. And, at running back, it's not that way. We have Jarvis. He might not be the fastest long speed, but his intermediate quickness is so elite that it helps him out so well. And I just realized one day, I was watching Jarvis. He paced through the line of scrimmage, and I was like, man, if I can figure out how to slow my pace down, I think that it'll help me out a lot. And even with David, I mean, they know how to slow their pace down, and that's one thing I really had to learn in the spring. Just slowing my pace down in the backfield to help out, linebacker flow and help out offensive linemen work their double teams up into their point. So it just really just watching them, be a running back for multiple years and watching film and shout out to Mosley, one of our support staffs. We would watch so much film in the spring and even in the fall camp of guys in the NFL playing and how their pace was just so much different and how it's different in the backfield than at receiver. It's just a lot more controlled movements and explosiveness within the backfield instead of just wanting to be the fastest guy down the field like you are a receiver.
Is there any NFL running backs that you've studied since the transition just to kind of see what they do and kind of measure that with you?
So we watched Cordell Patterson, and I would definitely say Cordell Patterson. I mean, people like to compare me to Derrick Henry, but he's just so special, physique-wise. I would say that he gets away with a lot of stuff that I don't think I can get away with. But I mean, watching a little bit of him and some of his cuts, and a little bit of guy from Detroit, guy smaller. Gibbs, yeah, he's so elite. He's so elite, especially in college. I mean, he knows how to set up people, and that's one thing that I've been trying to work on a lot is setting up backers and setting up key blocks, which has really helped me throughout this fall camp.
All right. Appreciate your time, Adam.
Yeah, for sure.